One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The anxiety guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the anxiety guy.
Warriors, my extended family, welcome to episode number 231. You're listening to the Anxiety Guy podcast, and I'm your host, Dennis Simsek. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Inner Circle program. 16 weeks of daily guidance by me through audios and videos in order for you to heal fully from anxiety and create a brand new identity. You can learn more about the Inner Circle program at theanxietyguy.com under one-on-ones, option number 4. And today, warriors, we are discussing the single most important factor in healing anxiety for life. Let me tell you something, all right? There's a lot of people out there that are presented with skills that they can use as they go through the day in order to distract themselves or resolve some kind of a negative thought or feeling. And that's all fine and dandy. We must do the conscious work as we go through the day. We must be mindful of when we are faced with some kind of internal or external challenge and have a toolkit for healing in order to counter the negatives that come with that situation. That's called the conscious work. But warriors, if you're not doing the unconscious work, you will never ever heal fully from anxiety. I've found this to be true not only with myself, but hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people that I've worked with over the last 10 years. So warriors, today I present to you the main factor when it comes to healing fully and doing this unconscious work. I'm talking about bypassing what's called the critical factor. Now, if you're doing any kind of hypnosis work with someone or know much about hypnosis, you probably ran into this term called the critical factor. I need you to understand it because truly it holds the key, the gateway to your freedom. What is the critical factor? The critical factor exists to protect the vulnerable nature of your subconscious mind. Now, here's how the critical factor does its job. It takes every incoming suggestion from the outside world and stops it. It then compares that incoming suggestion to every perception we hold on the subject. If the new suggestion is not in harmony with the old perception, the critical factor's job, and it is incredibly effective at this, is to stop the new suggestion. And like a mirror reflecting light, it rejects it. Now, warriors, understand this. If the new suggestion that is coming in is stopped and found to be in harmony with the inner perception, the critical faculty or the critical factor swings open and says, "Come right in." Right here, we encounter one of the most powerful laws of the mind, the law of compounding. It says that every impression carries a weight of belief, you might say. So I want you to understand how this all works. You've got your conscious mind that is logical, that thinks its way through problems. You've got your subconscious mind that has recorded every instance in this life and your past life. And then you've got the critical factor that surrounds the subconscious mind and protects all the programs that were installed into you between the time of conception and the age of 5. Around the age of 5, our critical factor, which is responsible for the protection of established beliefs and the execution of judgment, is initially activated. Your critical factor is basically this. It's the filter in your brain that decides what information gets into your brain and what doesn't. And now you can see why some of those positive thoughts that you have throughout the day just don't stick. They just don't stick. I remember going to talk therapy a number of times, and I was given some tools. Think positively, right? Take a bath once in a while, go for nature walks. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. But all of this reconditioning and this reprogramming done at a conscious level never seeped into my subconscious so that it could be automatic. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for inner peace to be as automatic as my anxiety once was, and I knew I could do it. But I realized after some time that if I don't do the unconscious work, the altered state work, I'll never get there. Now, warriors, this is one part, a massive part of healing your anxiety. We must move you, the warrior, from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. And this is where much of the problem lies, because this takes the intention of letting go. The intention of letting go, giving up control, and opening up to new pieces of information that a person may have been stuffing deep down within them for years. People have difficulty with the unconscious work because it makes them feel uncomfortable. They feel vulnerable. I've never been here before. Giving up or letting go makes me feel like I'm going to make a mistake. What if the worst happens? Blah, blah, blah. I've been in that place. But let me help you to understand that this is a major part in your healing. Honestly, your ability to let go holds the key to your freedom. There's so much pain associated to letting go these days when it comes to anxiety, giving up control. There's so much pain there. And it's all unconscious, right? But you must begin to associate pleasure to letting go. I remember doing meditation sessions and only doing them for 30 seconds because that's really all I could have done. 30 seconds, closing my eyes, feeling like I was letting go, allowing myself to feel a sense of inner peace and inner love and so forth. And I started to get more and more comfortable in this world. You have to be comfortable letting go. Now, with all this great information on the critical factor that's really the security guard, holding your subconscious negative beliefs in place, we have to understand what we can do in order for us to do the unconscious work starting today. I've got 3 very important suggestions, all right? Number 1 is you can find a specialist in the field of hypnosis and NLP that can safely regress you to scenes, situations, or events from your past that have direct correlation to the anxiety you feel today. Because the law of compounding has brought you to this point with anxiety. And until you look directly at the fear you've been too afraid to look at and change the scene in some way and bring some kind of resolve, you will continue to suffer. So one of the ways is to be physically guided by someone that specializes in regression therapy, regression coaching, and has an NLP background. I truly believe it's fantastic. In fact, when I do sessions with people, I get people to act things out. If I tell them you're in a grocery store and you're getting caught up in what you need to buy and you're in aisle 5, I want you to grab that food that's on the shelf and I want you to put it into your cart. And they would physically do it. Because when you get the body involved, it's that much more powerful. So you could find someone that specializes here. The second option to bypass the critical faculty and do the unconscious work properly is guided visualizations. Just make sure that when you're listening to them, you have an emotional connection happening. If you're told to walk through a forest, let's say, but you have a negative association to forests, you're only going to re-traumatize yourself. So if the guided visualization comes with associations and connections that feel pleasant to you, make it a consistent practice. Another example I can give you is related to color. If the guided visualization exercise asks you to breathe the color white in, but you don't associate the color white to healing, you will just sabotage your experience. So it has to fit, and you have to be able to connect to what's going on in the visualization session at an emotional level. You must be emotionally connected, and you must experience that experience in a way where you feel connected to what's going on. Okay, so that's the second way that we can bypass the critical faculty, the critical factor. Number 3 is mantra meditation. Now, one of my favorite recent mantras that I use while in meditation is through an ancient Hawaiian practice. Let me see if I can get this right. A Hawaiian practice known as Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I love it. And the idea is, while you feel calm and relaxed in your mind and body, repeat the words in any order you want. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Those words again are, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. You are connecting with yourself here. You are dialoguing with the deepest parts of you. You are making peace with you and the inner wounded child within you through the words, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. So, warriors, let me help you to understand what happened today in this podcast episode. You learned that you must have the tools as you go through the day to counter any sticky situation that occurs internally through a feeling or intrusive thought, or a sticky situation that shows up externally. Your boss, your car broke down, your wife screaming at you, whatever it is. You must have those tools, so you must do the conscious work. But the large majority of your healing consists in how you do the unconscious work. So, bypassing this critical faculty that holds your old core beliefs is key. It is absolutely essential. And we can do it through the 3 steps that I mentioned today. And that's just an introduction. This healing journey from anxiety will take you places that you can't even fathom at the moment. You don't understand, and that's fine. You don't have to know everything about everything. You don't have to have all the answers all the time. Okay? In fact, when you start to trust this thing called intuition, once fear goes away, when you trust this thing called intuition within you that says, in this moment I should do this. And in this moment, I've got some free time, I'll do some unconscious work. When you can trust that side of you to guide you, you are connecting to God. And when you are connecting to God, you are moving towards a place of self-love, faith, and deep trust in yourself and this world. Warrior, listen to this podcast episode a few times. And if you have any other questions on the newest Inner Circle program, head on over to theanxietyguy.com under one-on-ones, option 4. Have a wonderful day. Remember that you are more than anxiety. Don't you dare forget it. Move forward with your new identity now. I love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.